Bringing you your favorite new MCs, it's Dormville.
Someone call 911, get the dispatch. Need to send the ambulance, it's looking like a mismatch. Call myself a goldie, you can view me as a mishap. Legend in the making, all you niggas need to sit back. Aiming for the top, you know I had to pop. Knowing I can have the spot, electrifying current like a static shock. Push a cheek and have
Phantom.
And we're sitting down today with rapper JF the Force. How you doing?
What it do, baby? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Yo, we're straight, bro. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Thank you for having me.
We found you we found you like a while. I want to say a while ago. It was whenever you made your music video post for True or False.
Yes. That's what's up.
And saved that hoe, and I was just like, all right, bro, this is someone that we got to look into, because I think we were on break whenever I found it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, bro, we gotta get this nigga for next season, no cap, bro. Swear to God.
Hey, I appreciate it, man, for real. Yeah.
But just like, I guess jumping it off of that, like the whole music video is one, obviously it's a good music video. Two, it's like shit's deep.
Yes.
What inspired you to like start talking about this topic?
Well, there's a lot of injustice that goes around this world, whether you black or Mexican, and I just felt like there's not enough of that type of music out there, and it's not popular to do because in this generation people just want to turn up all the time, and to an extent that's fine, but I feel like you have to keep it real, and you have to talk about these things that sometimes make people uncomfortable, but it has to be said. And I just felt like that was on my mind, on my heart at the time, so I feel like the world needed to hear that.
Do you think that you got like the proper reception on the video, or just like on the song in general?
I definitely did. I actually put it on this blog called Say Cheese, and there were some people that didn't like it, and then there was a lot of people who did like it. And that's general. It's always gonna happen, but I feel like the reception was mostly positive.
With that, you were talking about how like not a lot of people are like ready. I don't want to say ready for that conversation, but like it's not a priority for a majority of people in our generation, or just like in our country in general. Most of the time, people just kind of want to push it off as like, oh yeah, no, it happens.
Exactly,
whatever.
Exactly.
But do you think that like, I know like whenever Joyner DeLucas did the
I'm Not Racist,
yeah. Was that song one of those like, oh shit, like if this nigga did it, I can do it, like this is like people are not ready, but like people want to have this conversation in the industry, so why can't I
exactly,
go ahead and make my own song?
Seeing other artists do it, just makes me more it makes me more comfortable to be able to like speak up about these things and talk about it too. Even though like somebody that's just kind of starting out and getting their way up there, not everybody might not like it because I don't have like the name behind it, but yeah, definitely.
Going forward, are there like other topics that you really want to tackle that are on that same level?
Not really. I mean, I have other songs that are pretty much, I would say my music's probably like 80% political, but on this album, it's probably like what, 3 or 4 songs that are probably like that, because it's probably gonna be like 16 tracks. But yeah, my album's gonna be really crazy. It's gonna be my best work so far. You're gonna, like I said, you're gonna hear all types of different beats, all types of different lyrics, melodies, all that stuff, bro. So I'm excited for everyone to hear.
Do you think like as your career goes on, would you take more of like a humanitarian role to increase like the impact of your message?
Definitely, man. I want to help people as much as I can, whether it be friends, somebody on the street that I don't know. Like I always have had like a big heart of like helping people around me, and like I just want everybody to eat and win. So that's, definitely, I can see myself taking like a humanitarian role. Definitely.
And like going into that, like, are there any people that you look at that you're like, cause like Jaden does his like whole water thing right now. I'm trying to think someone else that has like a big like footprint. One of the guys that we talked to recently was Samad the Savage, and he's like getting water for Newark, and he was talking about how like lead in the water there is worse than the lead in Flint.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just like knowing that like up and coming rappers, it's like it's not all like what we look at on social media or what media presents to us as like is all these young niggas just want the chains and their cars and a like a house and this, that, and the third. And it's just like shit that doesn't appreciate. And then it shows the guys that are like, oh, I want to buy land and I want to own property,
Exactly.
and then but it shows like the two, like the dichotomy between the two, but it doesn't typically. I would say we don't get to see a whole lot of guys that are trying to help out in the sense of like, well, I've done this and I've done that. It's just like, oh, he's conscious with his money and he's very frugal with his money, rather than like, oh, this is what they do when they are like of sound mind and have like noble goals and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, freaking. I'm 22 years old. I just bought a condo actually in Ontario. And like that's where I'm living. That's where I'm living at right now. Like I had a lot of money. I blew through it on a lot of stupid shit. Like when I was living in Hollywood and I was going to school out there, I went to the LA Film School for the recording engineering program. And bro, like, yeah, I feel like LA kind of changed me as a person. Like I always thought I was a shit and whatnot. And like I feel like I always had to like dress a certain way and like, like that shit just wasn't good for me. But I'm just glad that I took my money and like invested it into property, because I feel like a lot of kids, they're not taught that. Like school doesn't teach you that stuff. You know what I mean? Like they don't
Right.
teach you about like investing your money and stuff like in stocks. So you're sitting underneath money when you invest in property. So it's really smart to do. Like if you have the money to do it, definitely do that over getting like a crazy expensive car or like a new chain, because that stuff doesn't, like it depreciates in value. Like it doesn't do anything for you.
Like while you were in school out there, was it hard? No, I won't say hard. Did you meet someone, or like was there like a moment where you were like, man, like fuck this shit. Like I don't need to be doing this. Like I need to like make this big switch into like being a voice in hip hop.
Yeah, because and I didn't really start thinking about it until like I dropped my first project, which was On My Way. I dropped that. I believe it was 2018. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after that I'm like really sitting here like, okay, I have like a small platform, and it's like when people come across my Instagram page, does it like affect them? Does it affect them in a negative way or in a positive way? Like for instance, a young 14-year-old girl might come across like Kim Kardashian's page or like somebody else, and they might not get like a positive feeling from like looking at that, because they feel like, okay, now I have to dress like this, or like now I have to be a hoe, like, you know what I mean? Like that stuff
Right.
really affects people, especially young people, like because young people are easily influenced. So it's like you really have to sit back and like think of like the content you're making. Like am I helping out like this generation? Am I impacting it in a negative way? So that, like I think about that a lot with each song that I make. Like am I helping people or am I not? I mean, I like to make different types of songs and stuff. Like like I have a song called Dance On or like Wiggle It. Like those are like fun songs, and then like I have like my political songs. So I do like to switch it up, but overall though, I just want to make like my impact on this world. Like when I leave, I definitely just want to leave like a positive influence, kind of like Nipsey Hussle, man. Like even though like I wasn't listening to his music, I'm not gonna sit here and like lie or anything. I didn't listen to music too much, but just
Mm-hmm.
seeing the impact that he had on like the community in LA is just, like really inspiring, man. Like I want to do something like that one day.
Do you think like after his passing, like, because I know like as soon, like not as soon, but like a little bit after he passed away, a lot of people were like, "Oh, I'm like, this is what I want to do now." Do you feel like that wave of like, I don't want to say the invigoration or what I'm trying to,
Innovation.
huh?
Innovation.
No,
Oh.
it moved people in a way that like people wanted to go do something because they were like, oh, like Nip did this, but it was like nobody, like I don't want to say nobody, but not a whole lot of people were talking about that nigga before
Yeah,
like
it's true, and
he
yeah, you
passed.
don't appreciate people until they're actually gone. Definitely.
It's just like, do you think that like with his passing, as I know a lot of people have been like, oh, like I want to be like Nipsey, like this is something like he did this, I want to be able to do this for my community. Um, do you think that that wave is gonna die, or do you think that it will continue in hip hop and actually see like a positive growth to where like a majority of artists that are on a higher echelon or just like smaller artists are pushing like that level of positivity, like continuously
Man,
to change the narrative of hip hop.
to be honest, I don't know if, like, you know, more people are going to start doing it. Sometimes I feel like some people do it for the wrong reasons. Like, you see a lot of artists, they like will show on their page a video of them helping somebody out that's struggling. I mean, I hope that everybody does, you know, want to help people out, but I hope just people are doing it for the right reasons and not just doing it to make themselves look better. Like,
I know who was I was watching an interview with Mike the other day, and they were talking about how Billie Eilish and some
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, how they came out and they were like telling people to donate or do something.
Yeah, something about the Amazon fires.
Yeah. And people got mad that there was no proof of them doing anything. It was just like, well, why the fuck are these rich people telling me to do some shit? Yeah. And I mean, in my mind, it's if if we say like Kanye or like let's pick Joe Budden. I don't know why I've been really on this. Yeah. But we were talking about him earlier. It's like smiling. His name was just real fresh in my mind. But if Joe Budden just came out and was real against, I don't know, like animal cruelty, like he joined PETA for what reason I don't know.
I could actually see that.
Joe Budden is now the face of PETA. You heard it here first. But like Joe Budden goes and joins PETA, and then he puts out like a PSA, and we're just like, hey y'all, like this is happening, blah blah blah, and talks about like animal abuse in United States and all these other things. But my thing is, without social proof, a lot of people would kind of write that off as like, Joe, you just sit there and yell, or you just talk about hip hop, or like you do this, that, like what Joe has been like seen doing, rather than like, nigga, I ain't like if he visually showed like I've donated X amounts of dollars to this, then it's like, oh, so you really are doing shit.
Yeah. A lot of people.
I don't know what.
A lot of people. I mean, a lot of people do shit behind the scenes, and like, you know, they don't have to say anything, and then people will be like, "Oh, like, why aren't you doing this and that?" But it's like, man, you don't know what they're doing. They don't have to showcase it too to like prove to everybody that, you know, that they're trying to give back and help people out. But yeah, man, definitely though, bro. Hopefully in the future though, everybody can, you know, kind of like fall like the same steps as Nipsey, but be smart about it too.
Right.
You know, it's unfortunate that we know what happened to Nipsey Hussle. You know, he could have opened up his shop in like Beverly Hills or somewhere crazy, but he chose to open it up in his community to help out, man, and like give people hope. And I think that, like, man, that takes a lot of balls, bro. A lot of balls. But I respect what he did.
I think like that probably set like Nipsey and say like X would like set an example of like, you know, kind of like help your community but do it from afar. Like, they're always going to be those like jealous crazy people who like will want to like, take you down no matter what.
They do not want to see you win.
Yo, I guess we had this conversation again the other day. It was yesterday. We talked about a lot. If you go to like a lot of YouTube channels and you look at their first video compared to their second video, like if they're just starting out, because like our first video has like
300 something.
Yeah, 300 something views, and then we drop down to like the 50s, and it's just like we sent out the link to the same exact amount of people the first, second, and third time. It's like you see the numbers kind of go down. It's like, yeah, we have like artists that are at different like points in their career, but it was just kind of like, bro, I guarantee you that artist didn't bring us like all those views at that point. It was just like, bro, so you're telling me like there's 100 plus niggas out there like that watched that first episode and was like, yeah, this shit's not gonna work. I just can't. I'm gonna wait until y'all niggas fail type shit. In your career, like, have you encountered that like that, you know, that there's just something like there's niggas out there that are just like, bro, no, this nigga's gonna fail. He not gonna be no fucking rapper. This nigga ain't gonna do this, that, and third.
I mean, I haven't had anybody that I know tell me that, because I feel like especially in high school, like people were pushing for me to do this. So I don't know. I feel like I've always had the support. I mean, if anything, it would just be those, you know, those naysayers like on social media who just like they don't know you. They just want to put you down just because, you know, they're insecure and they're afraid to achieve their own goals. But nah, no one's told me like, oh, I'm not gonna make it in this rap shit. Like, definitely, nah. I mean, if they are, I ain't gonna listen to them anyway.
Facts. Jumping into the music, you were saying earlier in like the fan questions that Lost Thoughts was one of your favorite songs.
Yes.
And you say that K Dot is like one of your biggest influences. What part of him just like stood out to you the most? Was it like, you know, whenever niggas deadass just like showed up and was just like, all right, I'm the king of rap for right now. I'm gonna let y'all little niggas try to touch me type shit. Or
yeah,
like,
man. So Kendrick Lamar, bro, he's definitely changed hip hop, man. He definitely has. His sound is so unique. Each album just doesn't even sound like the last one. He has a very unique voice. Well, like he has one of the most unique hip hop voices like I probably ever heard, and most creative. And his realism, you know, he can make a turn up song like super. He can make a turn up song that's super serious and like has like a message behind it, and you know it still sounds like amazing, and people will play it in the radio, play it in the club. Like I think that's so hard to do as an artist. And I think that he is definitely a once in a lifetime artist, and I'm glad that I'm born in the same generation as that man. I'm definitely inspired by him, and I hopefully one day, you know, we can collab and hopefully be at the same level.
Bro, so we'll send this clip to him and he'll get it, bro. And
hey, good luck.
Things will set off. Look, things will set, bro. I swear to God, we're gonna blow you up right now.
Thank you.
Who else like were you looking at whenever you were younger and just kind of like going into like when you decided hip hop is for me, this person can do it, so that means I can do it too?
Man, I was probably like 14 when I started like rapping in high school. Yeah, I was probably about 14 years old, and I would like rap and sing all the and like people would like, you know, like girls and stuff would ask me to sing, and then like guys would ask me to rap, and there'd be rap battles and stuff like that. And it's funny, like I did hip hop first instead of sing because I wanted to see if I could actually pull it off and like people would take me serious. And it's crazy, like, you know, I'm not famous or anything right now, but just like the progress and the journey that I made right now without like a manager or anything is it's amazing to me, and I'm enjoying this, man. So
you say you don't have a manager, so like this whole time you've just been moving by yourself,
pretty much.
Going to school. Did you meet anyone that like has helped you through this industry process?
Easily, music process. Jordan Cox, man, definitely my boy Jordan Cox. So I met him in school. We had one class together. I think it was called creative presentation. And I remember he just like I think we had like a project that we had to do, like a presentation, and he, you know, liked like all the stuff that I was talking about. He came up to me and like got my contact info and stuff. And we weren't super close at the time because like I said, we only had one class, but I would see him all the time, and he would always just try to work and connect. And he actually is the man behind the True or False video.
Okay.
He's just, man, he's such a humble guy, bro. He actually is the one who helped me in my career, honestly. I can sit here and honestly say that he helped me out. He's the one who got me started. And he always just wants to see people win around him. Like, he's very unselfish, man. Like, you sometimes even put people like that he knows before himself. So definitely.
Diving further into that, has there been any other piece of advice that you've gotten that's like changed the way that you move or create?
Any advice that I've gotten changed the way I move and create? Any advice I got? Oh, network, man. That's probably like the greatest advice I've ever gotten, and it's honestly so true. Like, if I was back out in LA right now, I mean, I'm not that far from there. Definitely network. That is the most important thing I can give to artists. Like, hard work and networking, because it's about who you know.
Yeah.
Definitely those two things: hard work and networking.
Through networking, like, who have you met that is just like outside of school and just kind of like been at shows or events that you've been to where you're like, oh shit, like this is someone I need to work with and continue to watch or just like grow with?
Definitely still Jordan, bro. Definitely him. Like that guy's future is bright, and like he inspires me even though he's not a musician. Definitely him.
This is a jump back to like the conversation that we had a little bit where you talked about you in your writing, you or how you create a song, you think about like the impact of what it'll have on like on any of your followers or anybody that hears it. Have you ever had an experience where you just gone outside and like you've seen like somebody like really take in the message that you've given? Like they just come up to you and go like, man, like I listened to this and it really like touched me.
My coworkers, because I actually work at a bar right now called El Pescador. It's like a Mexican restaurant. My coworkers definitely, when like I told them that I do music and stuff, they definitely were impacted by my lyrics and my sound, and you know, like it's crazy. Like they're friends of mine, but you know, a lot of them are in a sense fans too. But I don't consider them fans. But yeah, they're my friends.
I'm jumping back into the music. You make a lot of references to Naruto, and then you made a Hunter x Hunter, and then Star Wars references.
Yes.
Whenever in Lost Thoughts, like is anime or just cinematography or like just what is that just something that inspires you that you're like gotta throw one of these lines in there just for so and so?
Man, I'm a big nerd. Like a lot of people either they know or they don't know, but I grew up on anime and stuff, man. I still watch it to today. So, you know, I feel like I don't want to not like show who I am through music. Like I feel like people get to understand who I am as a person when they listen to my lyrics. So definitely, man, I'm a huge like anime guy, big nerd.
You know, like what is one of the shows? Because I mean, like obviously I just like listed Naruto because you did Madara, Sakura, Choji, and then you did a Karapika line.
Yeah.
And so like were those just like characters that you just like, oh yeah, like these are notable people, or was it like these are my favorite characters from the show, or these are like these characters had moments that I was like impacted me, so I want to make sure that like this follows the same line of thinking.
It was more so like what I was thinking of at the time. They're not necessarily my favorite characters. Some of them are, but for what I was going for my rhyme schemes, like they all fit for what I was going for, and that's why like I chose like the people that I did.
And then also like, listening to your music, it's I don't want to say it's aggressive, but it's it's strong. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a very strong presence on the mic.
Yeah.
Did you ever do like battle rap in the sense of like going to battle rap competitions, or was it just kind of like that schoolyard battle rap?
It was just more so schoolyard battle rap. I never like actually like took it super serious. It was just more of like a fun like playful thing for me. Never got too deep into it, but it's fun though.
So like in one of your Instagram posts, you mentioned that black on black crime needing to be addressed in like the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yes.
What do you think that we can do as a community to improve that?
Man, to be honest, I feel like it starts with the parents. Like I know parents can only do so much, but it's like the way you raise your kid is in a sense going to be the way that they turn out. Like there might be, you know, there's some white kids or whatever who are racist because they grow up in a racist family and they don't know that they don't understand that that's wrong. Or like, you know, I know everybody doesn't have a choice like in the hood. Like I know like that lifestyle, you know, it's kill to be killed. So you got to protect yourself. But man, honestly, I think that the answer to everything is just love, bro. Showing love. That's the answer to all of this, bro. It's just love. J. Cole said it best.
Love yours, bro. Do you see yourself like, or have you, I guess is a better question, have you like participated in any like rallies or meetings of like Black Lives Matters or protests or anything like that?
No, I have not. I will be honest, I have not. Like I said, I'm usually out here like in Ontario. There's not really too many of those out here, so I have not.
Is that something that you would like to like be a part of or organize or like? continue to do? Like, if you
I
move?
definitely would, but here's my thing with the Black Lives Matter movement. I respect it, but I feel personally that we need to fix the problem in our own communities as well and stop ignoring that. Like Chicago, it's like a war zone out there. You know, like that's why they call it Chirac, because it's like Iraq. And I don't know, man. I just feel like we just need to come together as people, not just Black people, everybody, and just like show love to one another. I feel like that's what we need to do.
I would say like just like my personal thought on that is just like with I want to say integration of like with the internet like off jump, like because we grew up like Mike and I are 20, so it's like we got the internet when we were like fucking like 10.
Yeah,
like it was like
around that,
like that was when it was like just some shit that you could just hop on and off. Like it was not like, oh, I got internet. It was like
definitely like fifth grade is like when you started like playing all those games. And
that's when like online gaming and shit was like fire, like not fire.
It's like
that's when
popping off.
That's when you was getting like fucking online girlfriends and shit. And,
yep.
Getting viruses on your dad's computer and shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, got a couple ass whoopings, but it's whatever. But you know, like with the internet and like kids being able to like reach out to one another and like I would say like I don't know, I met hella people, not hella, but I met a decent amount of people just like online to where like my fucking mind state changed. But I mean like also I grew up in a community where it was just like it was military community, so it was just kind of like I see people from like everywhere just kind of in and out, like, oh yeah, like you're this, you're that, whatever, like we all just out here trying to do our thing or whatever. But with like the internet and just kind of like kids integrating more so like being a part of different things, do you think that it'll be better, I guess, going forward for kids?
I don't think so, man. I think,
really,
to be honest, the only reason why I have social media is because of my music. Other than that, like once I make it, I'm probably gonna have someone run my stuff, because I just feel like it's not good for you, bro. Like humans aren't meant to have this type of like technology. Like that's why Instagram is getting rid of likes, because the people are sitting here concerned, like, oh man, like what followers is this person? Like hundreds of people liking my pictures. Like social media is not good for your mental health. Like, do you see Jay-Z on Twitter or Instagram like going on like rants or anything, or like posting about what he's doing? Never.
No.
So I feel like for kids going forward, it's not going to be good, because it's going to have I feel like it's going to have a lot more of a negative influence than it is like a positive. So I truly believe that, you know, social media for the newer generation and kids now, it's not going to be good for them. And that,
I would say that like, I would say that if it's not monitored, because if you let kids, like, if that's where their dopamine source come, if they get oxytocins from like the likes, and they get it from the scrolling, and they get it from like, if you don't enforce like what social media is used for, because I'll say, yeah, I get on social media like every day, and it's like it's habitual at some points, because it's like, oh, like I have nothing else to do, let me get on social media. But for me, it turns into like, let me get on social media to find new artists, to market myself, to find new people that are like-minded like myself, not in an echo chamber type way, but just kind of like to find someone to have a stimulating conversation with. I think that if social media is not marketed differently, because it'll never be like 100% for like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, like here, this is the new social media. Obviously you can't just like tear down what we've already built up as something that's like giving you the same dopamine as actually going out and doing something fulfilling.
Exactly.
I feel like it's kind of like the same thing as like cigarettes. Like, yeah, cigarettes kind of got not rebranded, but you had people like, everybody was like, oh yeah, bro, just smoke a cigarette, it's fine. Like our grandparents kind of went around just like there was no problem with cigarettes, and then once they were like, yeah, bro, that shit causes cancer, they were like, oh, okay, we're gonna slap the what's the Surgeon General's little like warning, and then there's like whatchamacallits, like ads and everything kind of like going against it. So then it changes the social stigma behind cigarettes. And then like the same thing with like drugs. Back in like cowboy days, they were like, oh yeah, bro, just throw a little bit of, you know, morphine or throw a little bit of heroin in there. It's just like, oh wait. And you know, coke had coke in it, and it's just like, hey guys, like we probably should stop that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like once people hit that point with social media, that it's like, this is bad. Like you need to like have these limitations, or like, because everything's always going to be abused. Too much of something's always going to be bad. But I feel like once we hit that point where everyone or the majority of the population is like, all right, so we need to figure this out in this sense, I think it'll be okay for the kids.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Only hopefully, man. The way it's going right now, bro, it's just, you know, like people will look at Tekashi 6ix9ine's page and they'll think like, okay, like, you know, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to get famous. I'm gonna start trolling people, but you know, look where it got, you know, 6ix9ine.
I mean, the thing,
it's like when this man gets out of jail, he's pretty much just gonna have to look over his back for the rest of his life.
I mean, he'll have like hella security around it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there'll be witness protection.
I heard he turned it down. I heard he got his own security.
What?
Yeah, so he's gonna like pay for like 24/7 security. I'm pretty sure, or just like move.
Yeah, But
like either way, I don't think any member of the Bloods is gonna like run around looking for 6ix9ine to pop him.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, but I'm sure. I mean, hopefully, God forbid, but you know, hopefully they don't catch him slipping one day.
Yeah. But yeah, I agree. I like agree and sort of disagree with your point about social media, because like, I don't know, like Instagram taking away the likes is probably like a really good idea, because it'll probably put more emphasis on like what is objectively good, and rather than like what everybody else is like worried about.
And I mean, the only negative thing is it's gonna hurt people making money off of it. It's like from brands and stuff. That's the negative side. But also too, when they look at somebody's profile like mine, or they look at yours, or they look at somebody starting up, they're not gonna be worried about that anymore. It's like, you know, I remember there was a party in LA, and I think they said you had to have like a certain amount of like followers or likes to get in or something like that. Like my homie was telling me about it. I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm good. I don't like fake shit like that. I was like, I ain't going, bro. So,
I like never heard of that shit. That's wild.
Yeah, those are typically like influencer parties and stuff like that.
True. Yeah, I just think that shit's like just so high school.
It is. Like I'm not gonna lie, it is. But like at the same time, I think it's like the same thing as like a networking event. It's like once you take pictures of like the who's and like, you know, that gets everybody clout, and they build off of that.
I just feel like, you know, there's a saying, treat the janitor the same way you would treat the CEO. That's just me though. Yeah, that's just me.
Like, be nice to people on your way up.
Exactly, man.
Because you never know who's going to be there when you're down.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, so I think like you said with branding, when they took away the likes, I think that what they're going to gear more towards would be like authenticity. Because I think like as a society, that's who we like now. We like people who are like real and authentic. Like you talked about 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine, although he was like trolling and clout chasing and stuff like that, he was real. Like he told a bunch of people like to suck his. That was the thing that you never did in New York City. That's like a curse word or whatever. Yeah. And then like, you know, people are attracted to like that sort of realness. Like he would do everything on live, and like it was the same thing with like X. Like he was vulnerable and real on like his lives and like the way he interacted with fans and such like that. And I think that once you take away the likes, brands are probably going to start doing the same thing. Like maybe they'll start using like real people as ambassadors for their products and that sort of deal.
Yeah, for real. That'd be tight, man. I like what they're doing. We're gonna see I'm sure it's gonna hurt Instagram a lot, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for people to stop using the app though. Everybody at least.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things like Tumblr switched their stuff up, and so then everybody from Tumblr like jumped onto Twitter. So, but there's no alternative to Instagram. You can't just like, all right, guys, we're making a mass exodus to Twitter because Twitter's not the same. It doesn't do the exact same things as Instagram.
So like our final question before we let you go: who are you listening to? Who's in your playlist right now?
Who am I listening to? Man, I listen to YB and Corday, my boy, Hoodie Mitch. He's amazing. He's dope. What else I've been listening to? I've been listening to a lot of my stuff because I've been working on my music, so I've been listening to a lot of my stuff too. And J. Cole.
That's my dad, bro. I swear to God. Yo, but go ahead. Let the people know where they can find the music, where they can find you on social media. Even though you're not on social media like that, but you know what I'm saying, where they can get updates.
Okay, so you can find my Instagram at JFTheForce. You can find my Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio at JFTheForce. Yeah, man. That's pretty much it.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Hey, man.
Be easy.
Thank y'all for having me, bro. Seriously. I definitely want to do this again.
Why you killing strangers? Killing for this J's out of jealousy and anger. That's somebody's child while you're putting them in danger. Laying bodies down like the fucking Texas Ranger. Someone get my pager. Families are restless. To you it's just a game. Another nigga off the checklist. Do it for your pride, but to me that shit is reckless. Shoot him in this neck.